อาจารย์คะ I
Yes.
use MacBook so I cannot install the Microsoft BI but on the application it says it's available on iPad and is it possible that I take this course and take an exam through iPad? I'm not sure that.
Um, it's different software ครับ Microsoft Power BI that you use on iPad is like different purpose. You can view it only, but you cannot create anything. You I mean, like my suggestion is that นะครับ actually I also use MacBook sometimes as well, and I have Power BI on there. How can I do it? I have to install Windows on my MacBook.
อ๋อ install
And then you can install Power BI on over that Windows session ครับ that is one way that we can do
โอเคค่ะ install
for
Windows first.
Microsoft Power BI นะครับ there are a couple of choices นะครับ um, a couple of solutions that we can do นะครับ let me just tell you นะครับ so that you can understand before you make a decision the first one นะครับ as I mentioned earlier for any of you who use MacBook we need to install Windows นะครับ on our MacBook first. For any of you who don't know how to install it นะครับ I suggest you นะครับ if possible you just like go to the IT store นะครับ you have to go to the IT store and let them install some software for you นะครับ let me just like show you what software that you can use in order to what to say um, make you install Windows over there นะครับ just one below okay let me just like show you first when you have Mac นะครับ when you have MacBook how can you just use Power BI นะครับ this is your MacBook นะครับ suppose this is your MacBook actually you have Mac OS over your MacBook that makes your computer unable to install Power BI the things that you need to do is that you need Windows นะครับ and when you have Windows you can install Power BI before you install Windows นะครับ on your MacBook directly you cannot install Windows directly you need to have a software นะครับ in between นะครับ to make your MacBook to be able to install Windows on there ครับ let me just like tell you นะครับ you can just use like this software นะครับ these are like three software นะครับ that make us to be able to install Microsoft Windows for some of you นะครับ who are just like a techie person นะครับ you may just like download Bootcamp นะครับ from Apple นะครับ to install as just like the intermediate software before you install Microsoft Windows นะครับ but for any of you who don't know how to get that one นะครับ um, I just like would like you to go to the IT store นะครับ or you can go to the Mac Center นะครับ and ask them to install one of these software for you นะครับ okay actually Bootcamp is for free because it's available by Apple company นะครับ while the Parallel Desktop or VMware นะครับ it is just like the paid software นะครับ before you can install Microsoft Windows นะครับ Power BI is for free นะครับ the software that we use นะครับ is what we call Power BI desktop นะครับ Power BI desktop the one that some of you asked before นะครับ about Power BI on iPad นะครับ that is Power BI mobile นะครับ that is not Power BI desktop Power BI mobile is just like used for the management นะครับ or executive to see นะครับ or to view the visualization that we created นะครับ in the meeting room นะครับ at most you can take some notes over there but you cannot create the visualizations that we want นะครับ the software that we use นะครับ in this class that we have to learn after midterm is Power BI desktop that you can create like the visualizations นะครับ and later on if you would like to send it to the executive นะครับ they'll use Power BI mobile on iPad in order to view these charts something like that นะครับ okay so this is Power BI desktop นะครับ that we have to use all right okay so are there any questions before we move on to the tools that we have to use at the beginning of the term
อาจารย์คะ if I don't want to go to the store so I can download bootcamp by myself to install the window
yes that's
อ๋อ
right
โอเคค่ะ thank you
yeah
ค่ะ
you're welcome ครับ okay so any other questions so far okay นะครับ if you don't have any questions if you still have any question about Power BI you can still ask me in our line group as well นะครับ later on okay so now I'm going to talk about like the first tool that we have to use นะครับ in this class that is Microsoft Excel นะครับ that is Microsoft Excel okay the Microsoft Excel นะครับ that we have to use in this class นะครับ is one of the tools นะครับ from the Microsoft Office suite นะครับ why Microsoft Excel why not Google Sheet why not numbers นะครับ because you can see that one of the most important thing that you have to know is that if you just like go to most of the organization around the world where they have the computers for their staff most of the computer are still the Windows-based computer นะครับ okay some of the company นะครับ they may have Mac นะครับ but I'm sure that if you just like go to have a look in the accounting department นะครับ in the HR department they still use Windows-based computer anyway นะครับ and when you buy the Windows-based computer นะครับ or Windows PC นะครับ one of the software that the Windows PC use is Microsoft Office นะครับ so when you have Microsoft Office นะครับ one of the productivity นะครับ software นะครับ in the Microsoft Office that we normally use is Microsoft Excel Microsoft Excel is a software that we use in order to manipulate the data นะครับ instead of just like recording the data in the piece of paper นะครับ in the account journal นะครับ manually we use the software นะครับ we use the computerized tools in order to help manipulating the data instead some of you might say that okay what about like Word Microsoft Word why don't we use it Microsoft Word is the word processor นะครับ the way that we use Microsoft Word is to just like create a document นะครับ normally it's a text document we don't calculate anything or manipulate the data inside that Microsoft Word while Microsoft Excel is different you can enter formula you can enter some charts นะครับ create the charts on Microsoft Excel นะครับ twist the data into the way that you would like to see นะครับ while Microsoft Word or PowerPoint you can't do it นะครับ so that's why we have to use Microsoft Excel instead of Word or PowerPoint what about Google Sheets นะครับ or what about numbers why don't we use them as I told you earlier because most of the organizations นะครับ are still using Windows PC นะครับ so we better use Microsoft Excel instead because for the numbers นะครับ on Mac it doesn't support for on Windows นะครับ so that means if you have created นะครับ if you have created the data นะครับ in on numbers นะครับ on Mac you cannot open by using Windows PC นะครับ or you cannot create it on you cannot install numbers on Windows PC as well นะครับ on the other way around Microsoft Excel นะครับ it has the Mac version so that means you can use Microsoft Excel on Mac properly นะครับ what about Sheets the Google Sheets why don't we use Google Sheet actually you can see that Google Sheet you need to have the internet connection all the time นะครับ so when you have to work it offline นะครับ it is not 100% compatible with Microsoft Excel that means some of the formula in Microsoft Excel if you use Google Sheets นะครับ it's not compatible and it may cause your data นะครับ to be wrong for example if you enter some formula นะครับ on Excel already นะครับ and you just like load it into Google Sheets if Google Sheet doesn't have that formula or that functions นะครับ it will convert those data to be just numbers only นะครับ that is not once you go to see on Google Sheet you don't see the data anymore you don't see the formula anymore so that's why Google Sheet you use it sometimes only นะครับ but I can tell you that okay even though I say that okay we usually use Microsoft Excel นะครับ in the organization Excel still have like some disadvantages นะครับ over other software as well that I'll mention next on นะครับ so okay by the way we use Microsoft Excel you can use Excel on Mac or you can use Excel on Windows นะครับ no problem both of them are okay but you have to know that some of the functions นะครับ sorry or some of the menus not some of the functions some of the menu นะครับ for Microsoft Excel on Windows and Mac นะครับ they are just like shuffled นะครับ they may group in different menu นะครับ but anyway you can still find it on Mac anyway นะครับ okay so in this class if you have Windows Excel for Windows or Excel on Mac both of them are okay another software นะครับ that you may use นะครับ in case that your computer นะครับ on your or for example your Mac doesn't have Excel what should we do you can use like Excel 365 as well นะครับ so I'll just like I can just like introduce to you how can we use it Excel 365 is Microsoft Excel on cloud นะครับ you can use that version as well นะครับ all MU and MUIC students นะครับ can use that software นะครับ for free because once you registered นะครับ or you enrolled the course นะครับ your account นะครับ your MUIC account can be used that software นะครับ okay so next on what version of Microsoft Excel you can use if you use Microsoft Excel นะครับ on your computer นะครับ the software the version that you have to use is Microsoft Excel from 2010 version onward นะครับ that means if you have the older Excel version นะครับ than 2010 I don't recommend you to use in the class because some of the features นะครับ was not available นะครับ for example some of you use like very old version of Excel in your computer because like you may use the computer นะครับ that your parent gave it to you นะครับ and they install some old software for a long time นะครับ or you had the license for the older version of Excel นะครับ and then you use that one to install into your computer don't use it I suggest you that if you have the older version than Excel 2010 you can switch to Microsoft Excel 365 instead นะครับ and also for my version some of you may have Excel 2016 that is okay นะครับ my one because I just like reformat my computer นะครับ during the term break. So the version that I use right now is Excel 2019 นะครับ that is like the latest version that Microsoft Office has นะครับ so if the position of the menu is just shuffle นะครับ don't worry about it, you also have that one as well นะครับ but the name might be just a little bit different นะครับ for the menu นะครับ don't worry about that. Okay, so this one, that means you can use like Microsoft Excel on Windows, Microsoft Excel on Mac, Microsoft Excel 365 นะครับ in order to like do this task นะครับ okay, so now let me talk about Microsoft Excel นะครับ on the computer that we have got first นะครับ okay, for Microsoft Excel นะครับ one below, you can just like click type to search and then you type Excel directly นะครับ or you can just like click on start menu and then scroll down to E นะครับ and then you just click on Excel นะครับ you can start Microsoft Excel in here นะครับ okay, so let me just like talk about Microsoft Excel on PC that I have นะครับ okay, so this one you can see that when you start Microsoft Excel นะครับ it comes with the green the green theme นะครับ when you see the green color you know immediately that is Excel นะครับ Word is blue, PowerPoint is orange นะครับ okay, so just a glance you know immediately that you are using Microsoft Excel. Okay, on the left hand side นะครับ it is just like the recently opened file นะครับ on the right hand side is a template นะครับ it's a template. In this class we'll use a blank workbook นะครับ we'll use a blank workbook. Now let me talk about the terminology นะครับ or the terms that I use นะครับ in Microsoft Excel. When you see a word workbook นะครับ workbook, what is it? Workbook is a file นะครับ consists of many pages นะครับ that's why we call it as workbook นะครับ. So everyone, when you're ready, just start your Excel and click on blank workbook ครับ double click on the blank workbook so that Excel will open up the workbook for you ครับ in each workbook นะครับ you can see that once you see the title bar of Excel, title bar is the bar on the top of the screen. Here it said book 1 -Excel นะครับ book 1 is workbook number 1. When once you start Microsoft Excel นะครับ blank workbook นะครับ it start with the book 1 first. So the name will be changed when you rename this workbook นะครับ or when you save this workbook นะครับ okay, so below the title bar it's a menu bar นะครับ consists of file, home, insert, page layout, and so on. I'll explain this later on นะครับ in here. Lower than the menu bar นะครับ the bar here we call it as ribbon นะครับ ribbon ครับ is the list of the tools นะครับ or menus that we can use นะครับ in under that menu. For example, when you go to menu home, this is home ribbon. You have cut, copy, and paste. You have the font. You have the alignment group, number group, styles, sales, and so on. When you move to other menus, the ribbon will be changed as well. Will be changed accordingly. So that means when I tell you that, okay, everyone go to home menu, go to alignment group, and see the wrap text button, click on wrap text button, something like that. I'll just tell you like that. I'll tell you in step that, okay, what menu that we have to go, which group that we have to look at, and which button or which menu or which function that you have to click. Okay, so that is the ribbon. underneath the ribbon นะครับ we have another line นะครับ in this one it consists of three major boxes นะครับ three major boxes นะครับ the left one นะครับ the leftmost box is called as name box นะครับ is called as name box I'll talk about name box later on นะครับ right now you may see the coordination between a letter นะครับ with a number for example most of you might see A1 in the name box นะครับ some of you may see like some other letter and number นะครับ in the name box I'll talk about it next on นะครับ on the right hand side of name box นะครับ this is like the box that can check นะครับ the correctness of the function that we have including we have fx นะครับ that is a button to insert function นะครับ everyone let's try ครับ click on insert function and see how it goes when you click on insert function you see there is a pop-up window showing about the insert function นะครับ and it has the search box most recently used or category that once you click on the drop down it shows like list of categories of the functions that we can use we can choose the functions นะครับ under that category for example in here it said most recently used you may have text sum average and so on if you just like go to financial category you see acrint M and so on something like that นะครับ you see go button นะครับ go button will work when you type some search function in here and then click go นะครับ it lists out that function for you and underneath นะครับ the function drop down list you see the function together with its description I'll use this one later on นะครับ then we click cancel first นะครับ you click on insert function already the next one on the right hand side of insert function button you see a long white box in here we call it as formula bar นะครับ formula bar is a bar that we use in order to type the formula in there or to check for the formula that you entered before นะครับ okay now let's see underneath the formula bar what are they you will see the part of screen that consists of นะครับ the grids นะครับ the grids there are lots of boxes นะครับ in this grid นะครับ and then you see A B C D E F G H and so on นะครับ in one line and on the left hand side นะครับ you see 1 2 3 4 5 and so on นะครับ so you can see that okay everyone just click on A ครับ you see A right here once you click on A you see the gray vertical line in here นะครับ this is what we call column A now everyone let's try M ครับ M this is what we call column M นะครับ okay so now you know already that the letter represents a column นะครับ in Microsoft Excel okay now if you would like to choose many columns you can do it for example if you want to choose from column I to column M นะครับ you move the mouse pointer นะครับ hover over I นะครับ and then drag to M นะครับ this one you can see that this is the choosing or highlighting or selecting column I to column M I want you to notice นะครับ if the mouse pointer is hovering over the grid นะครับ the mouse pointer is the white cross symbol นะครับ the thick white cross symbol while the cursor นะครับ or or the mouse is hover over the column name. Now is hovering over the column name. The white cross is changed to be the black down arrow. To be the black down arrow. This one, when you choose or when you click, it means that you choose that whole column, something like that. Okay. Now, if you move the mouse pointer over the edge, over the edge of the column, you can see that right now, the mouse pointer is changing its orientation again, from the from the arrow down, the down arrow symbol is changed to be bidirectional arrow, left and right, and there is like small vertical line in between those arrows. This mouse pointer is showing that you are at the border of the column, and you are trying to just like squeeze or enlarge the width of the column. Okay. So now we try to do something. Everyone just choose column G. Choose column G. You move mouse pointer over G, click over there. Now we will widen column G. We will widen column G. In order to widen column G, we move the mouse pointer to the right border of column G to make the mouse pointer to change its appearance to be two-directional arrow. Then you click and drag, click and drag. So in here you can see that column G is wider. And also, if you want to squeeze or make column G to be narrower, you can do the same thing. Click on column G first, move the mouse pointer over the border of column G and then just squeeze it so that the width is narrower. Okay, this is the mouse pointer. When you change it, when you move it into different position, it's changed the meaning to use. Now we know about the column already. The next thing is this one, number 1 2 3 4 5 and so on. This one we call it as rows in Microsoft Excel. Rows in Microsoft Excel. So this is row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. When you click in front of the row number, it just like highlight the whole row for you. If you want to choose many rows, you can do the same thing as you did with the column. You just highlight by dragging from the row number that you want to have. For example, you want to highlight from row 4 to row 9. Row 4 to row 9. You go to row number 4 and drag it down. Now it's highlighting. So you can see that when you move the mouse pointer over the row number, it's the same thing. It changed its appearance from the white cross to be the black right arrow. So that once you click on it, it highlights the whole row. And also, if you move the mouse pointer over the border of the row number, the cursor or the arrow will change its shapes to be two-directional arrow as well. But right now, two-directional arrow is up and down arrow, with the small vertical line, small horizontal line in the middle. So this one means that you can use this mouse in order to higher or lower the height of the cell, of the row as well. So everyone, let's try. You click on row number 8. Now let's try to higher the height of row number 8. We move the mouse pointer over the border of row number 8. After that, you click and drag. You can see that right now row number 8 is higher. Now if you would like to lower row number 8, you move the mouse pointer at the border of now I just like go to the bottom border of row number 8 นะครับ click and drag it up. You can see that right nowนะครับ, the height is like lower